getting it poppin' on her patients.
We've seen multiple nurses lose their job for a couple views.
The workers at the Samsung clinic are fired.
Job just fired me.
I'm fired for filming content at work.
You wanted to go viral and now you did.
Nurses save lives, keep hospitals running, and hold the entire healthcare system together, all while being exhausted, overworked, and underpaid. But not all nurses go into this profession to save lives. Some go into it to go live on TikTok, or to make every shift of law and every patient an accessory in their content. Some even secretly film births, twerk on disabled patients, and some weren't even nurses to begin with. So while countless nurses are doing genuinely heroic work, some are accidentally proving my point. We're living through a bad nurse epidemic, and this one might actually be deadly. Let's start with a group of nurses at Santa Barbara Urgent Care that went viral a couple of months ago for taking pictures with, I'll let you guess what it is. The captions read, "Are patients allowed to leave you guys gifts?" Yes! And we love them so much. All shapes and sizes. All shades and opacities. Yeah, so if you haven't guessed yet, that is coochie fluid, a leftover from a pelvic exam. And if you've never had one, it is horrifying, super vulnerable. You're in front of a stranger for the first time, flashing them, and they are holding a flashlight and putting things inside you. It's literally horrifying. And it already takes everything in me to go get a pap smear. Now I have to wonder if the nurses are holding a secret photo shoot with my coochie fluid the second I put my clothes back on. Now, the funniest part of all of this is that a different gynecologist literally confirmed that this wasn't even coochie fluid.
This is usually not even discharge. Like, people are saying, oh, it's funny that they were showing the discharge. It's usually just like the lube or the water that we use to lubricate the speculum for the exam. So it's from our instruments. It's not from like the patient even. So it's even dumber.
Now, the hospital obviously put out a statement. Patient trust and dignity are always our top priority, and any behavior that violates these standards is unacceptable. So supposedly all of those nurses lost their jobs. Like, imagine spending 4 years of your life on nursing school, anatomy exams, clinical rotations, and like so much student debt just to lose your license for posing with some leftover lube. Now, luckily, with today's sponsor, ZocDoc, you can actually look at real patient reviews before booking your next appointment, so your healthcare experience doesn't include that. Take it away, Shira 2. Thanks, Shira 1. Have you ever felt a little scratch in your throat, done some light midnight research, and suddenly convinced yourself you've got the black lung with 3 days to live? Because same. I've genuinely convinced myself that I have every single illness known to man. And the reason was simple. I didn't want to go to the doctor. Not because I'm scared of them, but because finding one that's good, available, and doesn't cost half my rent feels harder than surviving whatever I think I have. Who's a network? Who's taking new patients? What do you mean you can only see me on a full moon in December? Then I found ZocDoc, a free site that helps you actually find and book doctors who are in network and close by. It's built for people like me who get way too anxious navigating the current medical system, because it lets you pick the right provider for your needs and book an appointment instantly. And ZocDoc isn't just for one type of care. There are over 100,000 providers across nearly every specialty, from primary care to dental to eye care to urgent care to mental health and more. It's genuinely a one-stop shop for all of your healthcare needs. And like Shira once said before, it even shows verified patient reviews and doctor bios, so you know who you're booking before you even walk in. I actually used ZocDoc when I first moved to Austin, Texas, because every single doctor's office I called was magically not taking new patients. So ZocDoc helped me find a doctor in my network close to my house and an appointment the very next day, which is incredible because I was running out of my antipsychotics. And you would not like me without my antipsychotics. So if you've been putting off that checkup, stop scrolling the internet and go to ZocDoc.com/Shira. It's linked below, and instantly book a top-rated in-network doctor today. Now let's get back to the video. So if some nurses are this comfortable mocking you after a pelvic exam, imagine what they say about you during childbirth. So in late 2022, 4 labor and delivery nurses at a hospital in Atlanta recorded a video listing things that our patients do that give them the ick. Ick's a labor and delivery addition. They spelled addition wrong, so we're already to a great start.
My ick is when you come in for your induction talking about, can I take a shower and eat?
So I've actually never had a baby baby. So I had to Google what an induction is, and it's basically when a doctor literally starts labor artificially. So if you know you're about to push a literal human out of you, why wouldn't you want to take a shower and eat first? Some birth can take like 2-3 days. Let a woman have a sandwich. My God.
Is when you ask me how much the baby weighs, and it's still in your hands.
Dad comes outside and asks for a paternity test right outside the room door.
Saying you don't want any pain medicine, no epidural, but you are at an 8 out of 10 pain, just a Cervidil, and you're still closed, fingertip.
I think a woman is allowed to decide what pain she wants to endure. Let her suffer in peace. At least she like went to the hospital and didn't try that weird water home birth thing with a blow up hot tub, okay? Let's take the wins where we can get them.
When we've already told you to push the call light, but every 5 minutes, your family member coming at the front desk asking for something else.
Have a blanket.
Another ick, when you're going room to room between one baby mama and your other baby mama.
Oh no.
Ick.
I don't feel like that's an ick. That's genuinely impressive. That's insane timing on this man's part, okay? 2 women, same hospital, on the same day? That's impeccable time management. I gotta get some tips from this guy.
It's the unlimited trips to the nurse's station for me.
My ick is nurses publicly complaining about the job that they signed up for. If helping people annoys you, maybe try a career that doesn't involve human suffering. Childbirth is, again, one of the most painful experiences a person can go through. The last thing a person should worry about is giving the nurses the ick while pushing a literal watermelon through a cucumber-sized flesh tube, okay? Now, obviously, as with the previous example, the 4 nurses were promptly fired, and the hospital also released a statement saying, "We are aware of a TikTok video that included disrespectful and unprofessional comments about maternity patients at Emory. We have investigated the situation and taken appropriate actions with the former employees responsible for the video." So yeah, they were fired. I do think that's a little extreme because you're allowed to complain about your job, but maybe just don't do it so publicly, right? On TikTok, in your uniform, during a shift. Just because you flipped your name badge around doesn't mean we don't know who you are, Jessica. You have a whole face, okay? A very identifiable one too.
Ick.
Now, filming a TikTok during your shift may seem really bad until you meet the nurses who live stream their shifts to hundreds of strangers on TikTok. Now, there have been quite a few nurses who have done this, but none as famous as Yaz Scott, who actually went live every time she administered medication.
Oh my God, y'all just be on here doing the most. Healthcare girly.
I have never had a job where live streaming was allowed, except for maybe the job of a live streamer. I mean, I couldn't even pick up my phone for a second without being yelled at. Meanwhile, Yaz is out here running a full-time TikTok stream inside a hospital. Like, imagine being on your deathbed, trying to call your nurse like, "I'm having a heart attack," and she's too busy being like, "Gang, gang, fire, fire, gang, gang. Oh, thank you, baby. I love you." Honestly, just pull the plug at that point, because I am done with this planet. The crazy part is so many people in her chat were trying to warn her, like, a way to lose your nursing license. You will lose your license doing this. But she insisted that it was fine because she wasn't showing patient information.
Ain't no patient information showing, okay? So y'all just relax. Oh my God, why do y'all keep doing that? I'll lose my license if I'm showing patient information. If y'all see some patient information, then just holla. But I'm not showing nothing. I'm just at work. So just chill. Sit back, relax. I'd be taking the fun out of everything, honey.
But she actually kind of was, because she said multiple patients' names out loud.
Yes, ma'am. You do mornings. Yeah.
Then she identified another patient by name and said what medication they were on. And then on camera, she opened sterile medical supplies with her teeth.
This is not sanitary, but...
Then she administered medication at the wrong time. Then she realized she gave that medication at the wrong time and went back while still live streaming.
It's just the lidocaine patch. You're supposed to have it in the daytime, not at night.
Are you not embarrassed? You're making massive mistakes on camera. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the wrong medication can kill you. So maybe it's not a good idea to be, distracted with a live stream while doing this.
Redonda was supposed to give Charlene a sedative. Instead, she accidentally administered a powerful paralyzing drug, vecuronium, a catastrophic mistake which caused Charlene severe brain damage.
Now, naturally, the live stream reposts went viral and Yaz was suspended while the state board opened an investigation.
The BON was contacted over 50 times regarding my case. My job was also posted online and they were also contacted. As of now, I am currently suspended until the investigation is over.
Then she started a GoFundMe to help her during this period of unemployment.
If you guys are able to donate, the GoFundMe link is posted in my bio.
Now, naturally, people were not happy with this. New grad here, I would never. You knew better. The GoFundMe is wild, babes. Wild. A GoFundMe for what? You're perfectly capable of working. Use your phone to apply for other jobs besides nursing. DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, etc. People donated $1,200 so far. Listen, every day I be thinking, let me put my pride to the side and come online begging the way y'all be giving y'all money away. All some people care about is being a nurse girly and wearing scrubs. They don't care about the importance or value of being a reliable nurse, and it shows. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with the GoFundMe. You don't have to donate. It's fine. From what I gathered, she's a single mom. Yes, she made a mistake and she profusely apologized many times.
I'm well aware of what I've done and how extreme it is, and again, I do take full accountability for that. This was a lesson learned for me, and like I stated in previous videos, I hope I can be used as an example in the future of what not to do.
Now, I think she did get her license back. I'm assuming because months later someone commented, I don't know why y'all thought her licenses were just gonna get snatched and she wouldn't be able to work. It's clear y'all don't know how the bond works. I hope she is working and not telling anyone where. And Yaz replied with 2 winking faces. So I'm pretty sure she is working still. And I guess since we have seen no more live streams at the nursing home, I think she learned her lesson. Once you look at the next couple of nurses, you will probably not even think Yaz did anything wrong because the next nurse didn't just live stream her shift. She allegedly filmed a woman giving birth and then posted it on Snapchat. What?
An Atrium Health Navicent nurse faces a felony charge for allegedly recording a woman in labor and posting it to social media.
In 2022, a woman in Georgia went into labor and was admitted to the hospital. She was in pain, she was vulnerable, she was literally seconds away from meeting her baby. And then nurse Rachel Fasto walked into the room and her phone was sticking out of her pocket with the flash on. Now, the patient immediately was like, hey, Rachel, can you put your phone away? Rachel's like, no. And then another nurse is like, hey, turn it off. And then she finally stops. Cut to 3 months later, the new mom finds out that a video of her in labor is being spread around on Snapchat. What?
This is where the alleged video recording took place, here at Atrium Health Navicent on May 16th. The arrest warrant says the woman who gave birth learned on August 9th that the video had circulated.
I hope I don't have to tell you that filming a woman giving birth and posting it on Snapchat is not only insanely unprofessional, it's also insanely illegal.
Fasto is accused of a single count of violating the state's eavesdropping charge, which is a felony.
Although initially Rachel was arrested and facing up to 5 years in prison, somehow the entire investigation was swept under the rug and she was cleared from all charges. But don't worry, you guys, not all illegal nursing incidents get swept under the rug because Autumn Bardisa here didn't just do a one-time oopsie. She committed over 4,000 different oopsies by treating that many patients without having a nursing license at all.
Are you Autumn?
Yeah?
Can you step out of the car for me, please?
Sure.
Just turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Oh, wait, what's going on?
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, my car's across the street.
Okay, all right.
Am I being arrested?
You are.
Yeah.
In 2023, Advent Health Palm Coast Hospital hired Autumn after she gave them a nursing license number that technically belonged to another woman, also named Autumn, who actually was a nurse at a different Advent Health. When HR asked why her last name didn't match, she claimed she had gotten married. You didn't want to check the marriage certificate? That worked on the entire hospital?
Found somebody with her first name, different last name. But how she was able to find is they actually went to school together, but they did not know each other. So So somehow she found it, same university, same hiring class, if you will, through Advent, but they never met, they never knew each other.
Now, personally, if I were gonna fake an identity, I'd pretend to be someone like, you know, really famous and cool. But Autumn just really wanted to be a nurse. And, you know, honestly, that's kind of noble that she literally was committing an insane crime of stealing someone's identity just to become a nurse.
We have 7 counts of identity theft and 7 counts of practicing without a license.
And the funniest part of all this is that by all accounts, Autumn was an incredible nurse. I mean, she was so good that the hospital literally put her up for a promotion. But that promotion meant paperwork, and paperwork meant somebody finally had to check their receipts. And that's when they discovered that the license had been expired for years and never actually belonged to Autumn in the first place. Yeah, and that's when police literally opened a 7-month investigation and found out that in just 2 years of Autumn cosplaying as a nurse, she treated over 4,486 patients without a valid license.
Bordisa is now facing 14 felony charges, including 7 counts of practicing a healthcare profession without a license.
Now, Autumn was a really good nurse because not only was she up for a promotion, she also had 0 reported injuries and 0 TikTok live streams over those 2 years. So I don't know.
To our knowledge, no one was injured and no one died as a result of any actions that she took. If that had occurred, this would be a different case.
Who do you think is at fault for this?
At the end of the day, it's the person that we arrested. She's the one that lied.
I fully disagree because this is not entirely Autumn's fault. This is also on the administration because they're the ones responsible for hiring quality staff and verifying licenses. Like, what do you mean they couldn't be bothered to check? Like, arrest them. Let Autumn go. Give her a slap on the wrist and pay for her nursing school because she's clearly good at it and super passionate about it.
Am I being arrested?
You are.
Yeah.
Now, although the last case was a little humorous, the next one might not be, because now we're going to be talking about a serious, widespread problem that is medical racism. Let's take this example first. Went to the doctor's office the other day, and this is how my name was printed on the test kit. I am a black woman. Now, for context, this creator's name is Kiera King, but the sample reads King Kong.
Can you tell me what's wrong with this sample?
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Can you understand as a black woman why I would have a problem with that?
Yeah, I can double check who.
How could that be a mistake? Because this King, that's my last name, right? Comma would be my first name, correct?
Yeah.
How do you misspell Kiera as Kong? That's insane.
Yeah, I can double check who did that. I'm honestly not sure who printed that. Sorry, previously we've never had like any sort of issue like that. I understand where you're coming from.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire right now. Like, that's unacceptable.
Now, Kiera did end up confronting the nurse that did this, and her excuse was that she was typing really fast, and then it was all an accident.
I don't understand how you can write Kong instead of Kiera. How did you mistype that?
I was typing. To be honest, I type really fast. I don't double check when I'm typing really fast. I did put your name on there, but for some reason it went to an error. But like I mentioned to you, it was in.
So it autocorrected from Kiera to Kong? That's crazy. This is ridiculous. I'm done with this conversation. Please give me her name and I will report it. Thank you.
Tell them to send the fucking bill to King Kong too. That's crazy. She's better than me because I would have turned into King Kong. She was trying to be funny. She know what the fuck she did. Sue. Now this is the part that I will never understand. Why would you choose a career literally built on protecting people, comforting people, and keeping them alive while holding a bias against the exact people you swore to care for? Like, why become a nurse if you don't even like people? We're all the same on the inside. We all feel pain. Well, according to this 2017 nursing textbook, apparently pain tolerance is determined by vibes and racism. I don't even know if I want to read any of this out loud. I am so sorry. So bad. Black people, I can't say what they're written there. Black people often report higher pain intensity than other cultures. They believe suffering and pain are inevitable. So they're basically just trying to say, hey, black people lie about feeling pain. And it's like, where are you basing that on? You know, might as well just start saying that all Scorpios are sociopaths because so many serial killers happen to also be Scorpios. Like, sorry to all the Scorpios watching this, you shouldn't have been born between October and November. You're a serial killer. I just can't prove it. I just feel like you're a serial killer, you know? Hispanics may believe that pain is a form of punishment and that suffering must be endured if they are to enter heaven. Huh? Jewish patients may be vocal and demanding of assistance. They believe that pain must be shared and validated by others. I'm sorry that I'm expecting healthcare at the hospital, my bad, for again, feeling pain and asking for help. So I ended up searching up who wrote this, and it's two women. Can you guess what color they are? I love it when racist beliefs based on vibes get passed down through education. Really makes you feel like the founding fathers are smiling down upon us. Now, since Susan and Kathy forgot to include themselves, let me help you out. Whites, notoriously impatient, constantly complaining, and always convinced that they're the most important person in the room. Now, I'm actually like just genuinely shocked that this existed. 8 years ago, 2017, this came out, and they had to apologize for this. Now, this is just the tip of the racist nurse iceberg, because meet Carrie Jones. She is in the emergency room about to literally pop a baby. And I mean pop, because she is literally hovering over a wheelchair, shaking, crying, screaming through contractions. And this is nurse LaChrista Vaughn, who doesn't seem fazed by this screaming, by the way. She's too busy asking the same intake questions over and over again, like she's checking in somebody at the Holiday Inn.
This is your third pregnancy?
Yes!
You have 2 babies?
It's in my ass!
You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor.
I mean, LaChrista literally asks Carrie what her due date is, and Carrie's like, right now.
When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due date?
They made Carrie wait 30 more minutes, by the way, after this, so an hour total while she's in active labor. And when they finally bring her into the room, she gives birth in just 12 minutes. And by the way, the birth was incredibly traumatic and led to both the mom and the baby to be under special care. Luckily, everything was okay, but this could have ended really badly. And also, this is not an isolated incident. My God, I found one literally within the same week, because the same thing happened in another hospital across the country, in which Mercedes Wells here was kicked out of a hospital emergency room while in labor.
Wells said she arrived at the Franciscan Health Crown Point Hospital at about midnight.
By the time I got upstairs, it was about 8 minutes apart, my contractions. The nurse came in. She said, okay, let me check you. She checked me 3 centimeters apart. She said, okay, I'm going to check you again in about 2 hours. And if you haven't progressed, then we'll just send you home. I was on a monitor. My contractions began to get closer. She told me, well, take a walk. I was in excruciating pain. She seen me in pain and agony. And I guess she still perceived me to not be in labor.
Mercedes then literally gave birth 8 minutes later in her truck on the side of the highway. Her husband delivered the baby himself.
I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I don't have any medical license or anything to deliver a baby.
When I say that she could have literally died or bled out, how dare we literally treat anyone like this?
The CEO of Franciscan Health Crown Point Hospital responding, saying, the video and the comments it has generated are deeply troubling, and we understand the concern this has raised. The video is just one part of the information we are reviewing as part of a thorough investigation into this alleged incident.
The funniest part is the hospitals always say the same thing, right? This alleged incident, this is just one part of it.
Alleged incident.
I have read so many of these hospital statements. How about we get the person who owns the hospital to come forward and speak and show us some actions instead of being like, we are looking into this and us just accepting it. This is not normal. Now, if you think that these are just like isolated incidents, they're genuinely not, because Black patients, especially Black women, have been saying this for decades. They have been dismissed, ignored, and doubted by the hospital systems, and the numbers prove it. According to the CDC, in 2023, the maternal mortality rate for Black women was 50.3 deaths per 100,000 live births, and was significantly higher than rates for white, Hispanic, and Asian women. That's not a gap, that's a canyon.
There are still racial biases that assumes that Black people can handle a higher threshold of pain to where we are not tended to, nor giving the proper care or medication to mitigate that pain. This book by Harriet A. Washington called Medical Apartheid literally details the history of medical experimentation on Black Americans in the United States. It also talks about how a lot of gynecological practices and advancements were as a result of testing Black women's bodies without medication or anesthesia.
And even Black nurses are not immune. They're often targeted by racist patients, especially in aged care, where patients, will often forget the names of their own children, but will somehow never forget that they're racist.
Call a lot
You want me call allowing hose me down? You know this 2021, right?
And just to be clear, just because some nurses receive poor treatment, it's still not an excuse to treat people badly or to neglect them. Because part of the job is being helpful, and the entire reason you became a nurse is to help people. Especially, the old, the vulnerable, disabled, which is why we're gonna talk about our last nurse. The final boss of bad nurses. Because this nurse didn't just mock patients, live stream, TikTok, or fake licenses. The next one physically violated vulnerable disabled patients on camera by twerking on them.
This Atlanta area healthcare worker seen on TikTok dipping it low on her patient's forehead. Patients, you can see, are living with disabilities.
So this is 19-year-old Lucretia, and I can't even show these videos because they're so bad. In one, she's like standing on top of a wheelchair while the person is, I don't know, asleep. In another one, there's a man also passed out in a bathtub. This also isn't AI because I don't think AI could even make something so disturbing. By the way, she did come out with a TikTok with her defense, which is genuinely one of the most bizarre things I have heard.
Okay, TikTok, right now it's a video that's going viral of me, the healthcare worker that's dancing on top of her patient's head. It's not what it is. Trust and believe. All I gotta say for now is angles play a big part.
Angles? There's no camera lens distortion, okay? They could justify, what happened and what didn't happen here.
A lot of people in the comments talking about he looks very aware and comfortable to me, so y'all need to stop jumping to conclusions, even though, yeah, I do see how he look, but trust me, it's not that.
Obviously, the police did not agree with her that this was all innocent because she ended up getting charged with 1 felony count of exploitation of a disabled person. Because this is exactly what this is. This isn't funny, it's not edgy, it's not cool. This is exploitation and it's humiliation, right? This is actually criminal. Now, I know I'm showing some really extreme cases in terms of nurses, but bad nurses are everywhere. I mean, I've had experience of them. I'm sure you have too. But for the most part, let's be respectful towards nurses because I don't know if you knew this. They are, as I said, overworked. Sometimes they do 13, 14-hour shifts.
This is me before my first 12.5-hour shift.
This is me after my first shift out of 3 in a row.
Underpaid.
You mean to sit here and tell me that I be flipping your grandparents for $15, $16 an hour on a good night?
And they're literally running the entire hospital, doing everything. Doctors are barely doing anything in the hospital. Nurses are there for you all the time. Most of them are angels and are doing God's work.
I'm so tired, you guys. I'm tired. I'm hurting.
This 20 years as a nurse have worn me mentally and physically.
Everything I have goes to these patients. I'll sacrifice anything for them to the point where I come home with nothing left.
The days of going to work, not taking a lunch break, not sitting down the whole entire 12 hours, barely going to the bathroom.
I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. My cycle is all out of whack.
My mental health.
This drags your soul down.
So at the same time as me saying some nurse is really bad, the health system is really bad. We need to overturn the whole health system, pay them more, take care of them better. Did you know that nurses have to get their own special insurance because the hospital will literally not cover them if they get hurt or potentially almost die in the hospital?
I remember when I was a new grad, my hospital telling me, don't worry about malpractice insurance. Don't worry about if you get in trouble in the hospital, we have attorneys and we'll take care of you. That is the furthest thing from the truth. I have never seen a hospital take care of their employees, especially after something goes wrong and the hospital is at fault. 3 months ago, there was a nurse named Leela who was brutally attacked by her patient Stephen Scantleberry in HCA Palms West Hospital in Florida. There's a lawsuit going on, but HCA was trying to place a gag order against Leela so that her and her family would stop spreading the word about what happened in that hospital. Once again, instead of taking accountability and responsibility of what happened to her, a brutal attack that almost ended her life. Hospitals tell us all the time, we'll take care of you, we've got attorneys, when in fact they don't give a about you, they don't give a about me, and they don't give a about our patients. The bottom line is hospitals care more about profit than patient in the United States.
Thank you, nurses. You are amazing, and we need to appreciate them more. But we also need to make sure that we ban social media in the hospitals, because I feel like we should all prioritize safety, privacy, especially during moments of medical emergencies. There is this thing called HIPAA, which actually talks about, what nurses are allowed and not allowed to do in hospitals, and they're not outright banning nurses nurses using social media, but they do prohibit the disclosure of any protected patient health information. I just think we need to go further and just to say, like, don't film within the hospital. Is that too much to ask? Anyway, you should become a YouTube member if you haven't yet. Thank you to my beautiful members. Bye.